When I saw it 4 days ago, I did a video about it. I knew it was going to happen. Let's talk about what happened next. Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at SkullWorld. Make sure you click subscribe, like, and leave a comment. That will enter you in my contest. The rules are in the description below. I'm trying to give away merchandise for free on game day against the Packers. Make sure you check out those rules. Now, hey, let's talk about what happened. 4 days ago, an article came out. I don't know if I saw a preview. No one was talking about it. I happened to run across it. It was Kwesi Adofo-Mensah being interviewed by USA Today. I believe they showed up on campus to interview him. There is a couple of other quotes from Patrick Peterson, Kirk Cousins in that same interview or that same article. Now, 4 days later, well, probably 3 days because it started yesterday, the media goes nuts over what Kwesi Adofo-Mensah had said. He said he was nervous about burning down the quarterback position. Well, in the offseason, he was looking to possibly trade Minnesota's quarterback. So he was nervous about not burning it down, he said. But he made the right decision. People are making it sound that Kwesi doesn't think that Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. In fact, I read one article, or the headline of one article, it says Kwesi Adofo-Mensah questions Kirk's future with the Minnesota Vikings. And that was nfl.com. And it said Kwesi says that. Like it was, but it wasn't in quotes, but it says that he said that. NFL.com, that is terrible clickbait. Nowhere in your article did you quote Kwesi saying that, but yet you had it in your headline. I'm pretty mad. But I'm not mad at the media. I'm mad at Kwesi. He caused this. This is a picture of Kwesi showing the Viking fandom how he put his foot in his mouth. Now, you were, I believe, the right decision. I think your approach to building this team, the collaboration effort that you got going on, that you don't know everything and you're very open to input. And I think that's done a good service to the Minnesota Vikings. But Kwesi, you put your foot in your mouth. He did backtrack on a few talking points. One, he kind of insulted the Rams. You don't want to go full Rams. Yeah, you don't want to insult them. They won a Super Bowl. We got to play them in the playoffs. You don't think that'd be locker room material saying, hey, you don't want to do what the Rams did? So I was pretty lenient on my last video 4 days ago. And it's kind of one of those things where you're the dad, you see your son do something wrong, and then mom finds out 4 days later that he did it and you didn't do anything about it, and now you get to act really mad and surprised you heard it for the first time. That's me right now. Kwesi learned a hard lesson today, or yesterday, that don't talk. The season's about to start. You should really not be heard the rest of the season. Everything should be internal. I know us as fans want to hear it. Hey, I made two podcasts about it. I did a short on it. Hey, it gives me great content. But me as a Viking fan do not want to hear anything that could be potentially said negative about the team from the guy who built it. Now, do we really think Kwesi thinks Kirk Cousins, by saying that he's not Tom Brady or not Pat Mahomes, that he's a bad quarterback? That means he's potentially the third best quarterback. He only mentioned two players that have won Super Bowls recently and have been perennial playoff contenders. That doesn't mean Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback and that he thinks that. If that's the case, he's the stupidest GM in the world because he just gave $70 million of guaranteed money to a quarterback he doesn't think he can win a Super Bowl with. Do you think he would do that? Do you think he would admit to that? No. He got the job and decided to get a coach who wanted to keep Kirk Cousins. So the decision's been made on his part that he wanted a coach that could work with Kirk Cousins. And that was the decision. He 100% believes Kirk Cousins can win us a championship. Otherwise, he would have burnt it down, quote unquote. Now, moving forward, what can he do? He could just not talk the rest of the season. It's almost like one of those situations where he was almost trying to prove how smart he was. We know you're smart, Kwesi. I heard an interview with him and Paul Allen, and he had to stop and tell Paul Allen, hey, sometimes I forget to mention that these are people and not stock trades. And I want to, these are human beings that we're dealing with. I don't want to minimize them to transactions. So it's almost like he forgets sometimes that he's dealing with people and that this will get to them and they will hear that. And then players will ask all the other and then media will, in the locker room or or at the press conferences, ask them about what you said. And I think that is a hard lesson. He's never been in that place before. That he is a hard lesson he learned that don't talk about it. Everything is great. You're the leader of this franchise. Don't bring any doubt. And worst of all, don't let that doubt seep into the locker rooms. This is not a blight on Kirk Cousins. This was a blight on Kwesi's decision-making process in his head while giving an interview. That's it, folks. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I am going to talk about it on the live show that we're going to do in a little bit here. If by the time you're listening to this, you may have it may have already happened. So make sure you go over to Purple Pocket Podcast. Ring the bell so you don't miss a live episode. We want participants. You get to talk to us. You get to ask us questions. We interact with you live. It's a fun time. It's a great show. We're growing every day. Hey, let's talk to you next time. And hopefully it's not about Kwesi saying something that's going to cause him more grief and hurt the Vikings. Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Live on Purple Podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment and enter my contest. The description or the rules are in the description below. See you next time. Skol Vikes.